good shot. Oh my!
You can celebrate Georgetown! The Georgetown Raiders are Buckland Cup champions!
The Trenton Golden Hawks, the R-W-It Cup champions, are going to Cougars.
Back to Minerva. Shot scores! And the Cougars are the Royal Bank Cup champions!
Evans, bunt-beat, they score! Frank Poche, the game winner, and the Buckland Cup winner!
The Battle of Halton Region. Old school rivals Georgetown and Burlington renewed Saturday night. Highlights of the big tilt coming up in just a moment. This is the OJ Today. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Alex Bastiavansky. This week, the Wellington Dukes went on an absolutely epic run last year that carried them all the way to the Buckland Cup Championship. And we'll have a feature story on those Dukes. Also, OJHL Director of Business Development, Rick Morocco, is going to join me via Skype as we chat about some new initiatives and some of the league events that have gone down so far this year. But first, game highlights. And as mentioned, the Battle of Halton Region renewed on Saturday. Now, this version had the Raiders and the Cougars going head-to-head. The suddenly surging Cougars, who had won 6 of their last 7 and were looking to put even more distance between themselves and G-Town in the chase for a playoff spot. OJ Highlights now brought to you by Hilton Hotels. Hilton, the official hotel of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. Burlington currently 2 spots ahead of the Raiders in the West standings. Georgetown, they've had some rough starts at home this season. That trend continued. Josh LeBlanc deflects home the point shot. 1-zip Cougars, 2:48 in. G-Town strikes back though. Jonathan Hampton out front. Watch for the tip. There it is. Redeflects the shot. All knotted up at 1 apiece. Before the break though, Cats climb back on top. LeBlanc the shot. It deflects in off the skate of Michael Boucher, the native of Johannesburg, South Africa. Burlington up 2-1 after 20. Second frame, Matt McJanet. He had a game for Georgetown. Past Matt Dunsmore right there. Once again, the Raiders even it up. It's 2-2. Right off the ensuing face-off, though. 9 seconds later. Ouch. Bit of a softie pass Poulin. 3-2, and then a $1.30 later, Evan Benwell to Matt Steen. Soft hands. Burlington. First 2-goal bulge of the contest. Then it's Dunsmore. One of the stops of the week, flashing the leather on Crocker right there. Beautiful stop. But the Cougars get burned on the turnover this time. Big Mac, his second of the game, as he says, thank you very much. It's a 1-goal contest, but then it's Benwell's turn to show off the dishpan soft hands as he dances past Carson Poulin. And 5-3 Cougs after 40 minutes. The Raiders would make it close in the third. Man advantage here. Justin Paul just picks his spot. That pulled G-Town back to within a single goal. Burlington puts this baby to bed, though. Brutal turnover right to Harrison. Caught him. 6-4 Cougars. G-Town could get no closer. 2 big points for the Cats, who are hot on the heels of Brampton and Buffalo in the West. Okay, Trenton has made up a ton of ground in the East. They were challenging first-place Cobourg on Monday. Cougars draw first blood, though. Brody McDougall slams it home out front. Home side leading 1-zip, and it was teddy bear toss night. Here come the Bears, all for charity. Love seeing it. Way to go, guys. Okay, back come the Hawks, though. Dershan Stewart would love to have that one back. Stephen Elliott with the tally, bit of a softie. Second period action now. Right off the draw, Jack Graffy, boom, past Benjamin Robitaille. Green and black back on top, leading to 1. Third period now, take it away, Kevin Dean.
There's a shot, knocked down in front of the net, picked up again. We even look at this kid go. Was that any good? They score! What a goal! Was that any good? Oh, baby, was that something else?
It's George Miranda to Mac Lowry. Gotta love the Kevin Dean call. One of the best there is. Beautiful play. Cobourg keeps it slim lead over Trenton in the East standings with the win. Okay, second place Buffalo. Had designs on chasing down first place Oakville in the West. This one, all Blades, though. Scoreless until the second frame. Harrison Israel's makes it 1-0 for the home team. And then with just 7 seconds left in the period, scramble out front. Kyle Potts with the tally, 2-0 Oakville after 40. Third period, Oakville on the PP. The original stop is made. Potts right there, though, his second of the game. Blades cruising up 3-0, and they would add one more for good measure. Absolutely gorgeous passing by the Blades here. Tic-tac-toe. Ryan O'Hara with the finish. No contest this one. Oakville outshooting Buffalo 44-16. They take it 4-0. And 60-second spotlight is brought to you by Troy Apparel, the official jersey supplier to the OJHL.
Ross Krieger, left wing, North York Rangers.
Shot scored! Ross Krieger!
What I bring to the game is, I think, a lot of hard work and leadership. I think I bring an offensive side to the game, and I think I also bring defensive side. I think it's important for me to be an all-around player each night. Wearing the A for me is a huge honor. I like being a leader in the room, and having that room in there with Gotts and Joe being our other big leaders, it makes my job super easy. And having every player in that room a leader makes our jobs and lives easy every day. This team is awesome. I think we have fun. We have a lot of fun on the ice and off the ice, especially in the room. We have a great group of guys this year, and I think we're all looking forward to what we can do and bring to the league this year.
Krieger with space, fires, scores! Oh my goodness gracious! What a shot by Ross Krieger!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ Today. Well, the Wellington Dukes are seriously one of the best stories in all of hockey. They play in the smallest junior A center in all of Canada, yet continue to pump out powerhouse teams year after year in front of a rabid fan base. Last season, the Dukes continued the tradition of success, going on an unlikely run that saw them capture the Buckland Cup title and advance all the way to the national championship game in Chilliwack, BC. Now they're right back in the thick of the title chase this year, and we take a closer look at the Dukes now in this week's Team Report, brought to you by Cliff Bar. Cliff Bar, the official energy bar of the OJHL. Wellington, Ontario. Population, 1,800 souls, and home to the Dukes. Despite having the smallest population of any junior A center in Canada, the Dukes have been a massive success story over the years. The franchise has won 3 Buckland Cup championships, the most recent being just last season, as Wellington marched all the way to the RBC final in Chilliwack, BC, before falling in the championship game to the host squad. It was a year the franchise and town will never forget.
So it was just an unbelievable experience, you know, going for 4 rounds with your teammates or whatever and winning it all, and especially in front of our home crowd, which is amazing, like OT too.
Evans, blind feed, they score! Frank Poche, the game winner, and the Buckland Cup winner!
So like the crowd went crazy, and I remember like not being able to hear much, and they're just yelling and screaming, and then just the whole season you played 58 games, and then we played 25 playoff games, and winning it all was unbelievable.
It was a lot of hard work and grit, and just proud of the guys overall that you know, they battled hard. I think we played something like 35 games to get to the RBC. It's a long journey, and it was very rewarding at the end to get there and to be able to play in the final game.
Despite having so few residents, year after year, the town is up near the top of the OJHL in attendance. Simply put, Wellington loves its Dukes.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the support we get, being a small community and everything, and they're just at every game and always cheering, especially in the playoffs with the cans. And we were thankful for that, and we're happy to have them as our fans.
Despite having lost numerous key pieces from last year's championship squad, the Dukes are right back in the thick of the title hunt this season.
I feel that we're starting to play as a whole the way we want to play. You know, we want to make sure that when our team reaches January and we're fighting for playoff spots and teams are playing at their best, that we're right there and competing among the best teams in the league and be ready for the playoffs.
Honestly, we're a really fast team, so I think just the speed for all 3 periods kind of wears teams down. Like even just getting pucks deep, getting the puck back, making plays, I think overall just really fast, really skilled, and it's starting to work for us.
Andrew Rinaldi leads the Dukes in scoring and currently sits among the top 5 in OJHL points.
He's playing like a man among boys, to be quite honest with you. He's such a strong skater. He can be very dynamic. He takes advantage of opportunities to, whether we're shorthanded, even strength, or on the power play, he utilizes his speed and gets into tough traffic areas and scores big goals. He has done nothing but that since the start of the season, and we expect much more of that for the rest of the year.
Tyson Gilmore isn't far off Rinaldi's scoring pace. The son of Maple Leafs legend Doug Gilmore, he's been a huge pickup for Wellington this year.
Tyson's a great guy. He's my line mate too, and he's just an easy guy to get along with, and funny guy in the room and everything else, and just a great line mate. Finds me in open spaces, and I know where he is and he knows where I am, and it's just been great to play with him.
Gilmore is one of many Dukes who have elevated their game.
Gonzo, another great line mate, and we had some connection at the beginning of the season, and we finally got put back together, and we've just been thriving together. We also played at DCC together, which was nice, and he's a great guy too, funny and easygoing too.
Defenseman Ben Roger has committed to the London Knights of the OHL for next season. Frank Vitucci has provided added scoring punch, and Olivier Lafreniere has been solid between the posts. Also, Zach Ewens was listed as a player to watch by NHL Central Scouting for the 2019 draft, despite missing the last 2 months with an upper body injury. He's set to return soon, which will make an already talented lineup even scarier for the opposition.
He's very high skill, very fast, very offensive. From what I've seen the first 9 games or 11 games, I think he's a tremendous player, and I think we're excited to get him back. Really good guy to have in the room, and overall leader at a young age.
The Dukes feel that down the stretch, there's no reason why they can't duplicate their magical run of last year.
We know the East is tough, but we're also a tough team to play against, and it's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy last year, and we just got to keep doing what we're doing, and I think we can make some noise again this year.
Yeah, I think we're just starting to get hot, and I think we don't really want to cool down at all. So I think this team could really we can really get going and really make it pretty far. I think this team has a really good chance to go on a good playoff run, and just hope for the best after that.
Our team has turned a corner. We're becoming a much better structured team. We're utilizing both ends of the rink. We're getting better in our end of the rink. And I think going down the stretch that we have the ability to do some good things and get into the playoffs, and I would expect that we have a good long run in the playoffs.
Okay, the selection camp for Team Canada East for the upcoming World Junior A Challenge was announced. 11 OJ players on that list: Jet Alexander, Ashton Stocky, Jamie Engelbert, Riley McCutcheon, Jack Watson, Eric Ciccolini, also Zach Ewens, Dustin McFall, Ty Glover, Spencer Kirsten, Trevor Ledun of the Brantford 99ers. The camp taking place next week at the MasterCard Center for Excellence in Etobicoke. Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ today, and as promised, a very busy man who just got back from a huge event in Trenton. He's going to tell us all about the OJ's Director of Business Development, Mr. Rick Morocco. Rick, welcome back to the show, buddy.
Thanks, Al. It's good to be here.
Yeah, let's start with it. There's a lot of events we need to cover, both that have passed and upcoming. But let's begin with the Eastern Canada Cup. As mentioned, in Trenton, just went down last week. East has become essential for scouts when it comes to picking players for the upcoming World Junior A Challenge. You were there. Talk about the event and what went down.
Well, I think, the event was a great event. Again, our host, the city of Quinte West, was amazing as usual. A lot of work went into putting on this event. The event increased over last year with an addition of 2 teams. So it was essentially a 5-league, 12-team all-star event. And as you'd indicated, it is an early identifier for Team Canada East. This year, Team Iserman from the Ottawa League won the event in the finals. Very competitive. The OJHL teams were amazing in the event itself. Great games, very close, all of them with one-goal games for the most part. But the most important thing was it treated the scouts to best on best, hockey. And for our younger players playing against, 19 and 18-year-olds, it really showed that they belong, and it was a great experience for them.
Of course, now they move on to the selection camp for the World Junior A Challenge. It's taking place next week. OJ players, as per usual, are going to make up a bulk of the camp once again, and fans can actually go right and check it out at the MasterCard Center of Excellence. It's going to be amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's very intense for these, these players, would you say, a bulk, and I think that announcement's coming out. We've got to, and I know the task of the coaching, the staff, the director of operations is to put a team together that can gel together and really grow together in time to, prepare for an international competition with some really good hockey teams. And, we're hoping this year that this is our year. We've got some great players.
Yeah.
We've got great players in the OJHL, like Eric Ciccolini, who probably is a shoo-in to make this team, but you never know. A lot of competition for spots, for sure.
It is, and the World Junior A Challenge has become such a boon for scouts to watch. Whitby hosted the WGAC back in 2015, did a fantastic event. Trenton also hosted a few games. Are there plans for the OJ to host the event again in the near future?
Well, I think this is we always have plans, to try to host these types of events, but we need to do that with partners, within the OJHL. I'm not going to lie to you, we've had discussions with several partners, but it takes a lot of work, and timing is very important for us, to get the right bid in at the right time, to get this event, So I would say, you probably could see it coming back here within the next 2 to 3 years.
Awesome. Yeah, the OJ's turn to host the Dudley. Speaking of events that Trenton has hosted recently, coming up in 2020. It's going to be tough to top Trenton winning on home ice in 2017. It was an incredible event. But what can you tell us about the process and what teams might be bidding this time around?
Well, we put out the request for bids some time ago. There was a lot of interest. Our teams had about a month or so to put together a bid package. From that point on, what we will do is we'll take a look at the bids. If required, we'll bring them in, for a meeting where they can do their presentation live to us. And then from that point, we'll have recommendations that we will bring forward to our board. At this point, I don't think I can really, let you know, where this is going, although I would love to. But let's just say, we've received, really good bids.
Yep.
And we think whoever ends up getting the host is going to put on a fantastic event. And it will rival, the event back in Trenton.
Absolutely.
A few years.
Yeah, a lot of interest, though, of course, from teams in the OJ who want to host. Rick, big news forthcoming about the OJ and a certain broadcasting deal. Not sure if you can reveal anything quite yet, but it's something big coming up down the pipe. Talk about what you can and what advancements the league has made in its digital strategy this year.
Well, I think it's no secret that we've really tried to be at the forefront at our level of hockey, with a digital footprint. Your show is a prime example of the type of quality that we want to put on. And I think, what we can expect in the next couple of weeks is that we're going to come out with a great announcement. It's going to be adding, to our digital footprint. And I think that everybody needs to stay tuned And Alex, we're very excited to make this announcement, and we'll just have to wait for that. For that announcement.
Lips are sealed for now, though, eh? Is that what you're saying?
I think that. But you know what, Alex? All I can say is that this is the direction that we're going.
Yeah, it's big stuff.
It's going to be great for our league. It's going to be great exposure for our players, the type of exposure that our brand needs and our players, and that's what we're all about. We're about developing players. We're about giving them opportunities, and we're about getting them in front of as many eyes and as many viewers as possible.
And we'll look for a big announcement on the website as well as on this show when it goes down. So we're going to keep them hanging a little bit. Rick, thanks so much for joining us, buddy, and we'll do it again soon.
As always, my pleasure, Alex. Thank you, Gary.
All right, more OJ today coming up in just a moment. Hey folks, welcome back to the OJ Today. Well, we've talked repeatedly about the East Division and its ridiculous strength this year, with the top 4 teams all well above the 500 mark and within 4 points of one another. The squad that's hovering just outside of that upper echelon are the Kingston V's. And the boys from the Limestone City have shown flashes of brilliance this season, but they've yet to win with any real consistency. Still, they were just a few points outside of that top 4 when they took on the Patriots on Sunday, and they were looking to grab an essential W. And the V's hovering right around that 500 mark. They'll have to up their game to catch the top 4 in the division. Scoreless until the second. Brandon D'Agostino, here comes the boom. Top shelf. Voyageurs break the ice. They go up 1-0. Third period. They pad their lead. Sean Robertson steals. He is off to the races and puts it past Mario Pescia. 2-0 for Kingston. Pat's made it an exciting finish, though. Zach Lawrence, he will shovel it home right there. That's as close as T.O. would get, though, on this day as the V's nab the 2 points. Okay, the Rangers, we're looking to get back on track against Pickering. Having lost 4 straight, was not looking good for North York early on, though. 2-on-1 here. Riley Gerard makes it 1-0 for the Panthers. Okay, second period. I'm a fan of a good old-fashioned hip check. This is about as good as it gets. Nathan Porter bringing it back in style, taking out Aiden Casey. You will see that again in the plays of the week, I guarantee you. With just a second left in the period. 1 second. Daniil Kuzmin. That shot should just not go in. Brutal angle past Blair Coffin. It's 1-1. Third period. Rangers blow it wide open. First, Graydon Gottschalk to Ross Krieger. Ross continues his hot play. 2-1 North York. Then it's the Rangers on the power play. Captain, my captain. Gottschalk, sweet little tip. Past Coffin to make it 3-1. And then midway through the period, Kuzmin jumping all over the juicy rebound for his second of the day. And it's a big win for the blue and white, who halt their 4-game slide. And it's still a comfy lead for the Rangers in the South Division right now. Okay, a battle of the basement dwellers. Lindsay from the east, Stouffville from the north. This one actually turned out to be one of the most entertaining games of the weekend, though. Spirit head first. Paulo Battistella tipping home the point shot. 1-0 Stouffville. A beauty from Noah Vandervine here, dancing through, and all tied up at 1 apiece. Then Muskies on the rush. Curtis Trolley gives Lindsay its first lead of the game. Nicely done. Then a weird one back the other way, though. Brendan Tomlinson bats it out of the air into his own net. Ouch. Tied 2-2 after 20 minutes of play. Second stanza now. Nobody within a country mile of Kenny Styles out front. End result, predictable. 3-2 Stouffville after 40 minutes. Third frame. Ice was still wet when Mateo de Blasio squeaks a softy past Curran. 4-2 for the Spirit. Hold on, though. Nick Lund, he will bulge the twine to cut it to 4-3. And then it's Trolley with his second of the day as he rips it past the most Canadian goalie in the OGHL, Damon Beaver. 4-4, all tied up. But Stouffville skates away with it after that. Connor May goes stick side on Curran. And that made it 5-4. They would add 2 more to seal it and grab their 5th win of the season. Okay, the Battle of Hogtown Toronto Patriots visiting the Toronto Junior Canadiens. First frame, Matthew Mayhew. You will see this again in the plays of the week. Utter larceny on Zachary Lawrence. Second period was not as much fun for Mayhew. I wouldn't mind this one back. Kevin Weaver Vitale. Bad angle, bad goal. 1-0 for the Patriots. 5 minutes later, Dante's Inferno. Spaniolo tickling the twine to make it 2-0. And then final stanza now. Nicholas Favaro just allowed to waltz right in. Easy pickings. Too much time and space. The teams would trade goals after that, and the Pats emerged victorious in the Battle of Tio. This time, as they down the JRCs by a 4-1 count. Okay, the standings brought to you by Jostens, the official ring and awards apparel provider to the OJHL. Starting in the West, Oakville, big win over Buffalo last weekend, as you saw, followed by Brampton, Burlington, Brantford, and the Georgetown Raiders. In the North, Aurora, big lead over Markham right now, 13-point bulge, followed by the Canes, Panthers, and the Spirits. In the South, North York getting back on track with the win over Pickering, followed by the JRC, St. Mike's, Pats, and Chargers. And in the East, it's still crazy. 5 points separating first from fourth there. Kingston trying to catch up. Lindsay looking like it's going to be tough for them to make the playoffs this year. Okay, top 5 brought to you by Chaos Hats. Chaos, the official hat provider to the OJHL. We start with number 5, of course, Kingston's Brandon D'Agostino. Don't blink. Boom. Rips it home, leading the Vs to the win over the Patriots. Number 4, Burlington's Matt Dunsmore on Jordan Crocker. The leather is flashed. Absolute larceny on the Raiders sniper. Beautiful stop. Number 3, watch Coburg's George Miranda go to work against Trent, and this guy's got the moves like Jagger. To McLaury for the big finish. Sweet. Number 2, the JRC's Matthew Mayhew. Oh, baby. That is one sweet stop on the Pats, Zach Lawrence. And number 1, seriously, one of the best hip checks you will ever see at any level. No exaggeration. Nathan Porter on Aiden Casey times it perfectly, levels the Rangers forward. Love it. That is definitely our chaos play of the week. And we're all out of time for this week, folks. Got to run, but just remember, you can always keep up to date with the league by heading to ojhl.ca. And of course, all your social media options right there for you to check out as well. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next week.